We're finally back. Hey, I'm Chris, and this is Board with Life News for January 27th. First off, I'm going to do a little bit of Board with Life news. One big major change is we're actually going to move this segment that's normally on Mondays to Wednesdays. We've started production on Season 2, and we're recording a lot of bits. So those take place on the weekends. Generally, we record those on the weekends. So now I need to move news later. So I hope that works for you guys. I'll still try to keep up to date on all the normal stuff, and we'll be pretty normal. It'll just be on Wednesdays. Another big change is our bits that have been every Tuesday are now going to be every other Tuesday. We decided to do this so we could spend more time writing them so they could be funnier and that they could have better production value. So I think you guys are really going to like that. We're going to try to keep having Let's Plays and interviews and stuffs, and those will probably fill in a lot of the other Tuesdays. We'll kind of see with that. But now that we're in full swing on Season 2, writing and prepping for Season 2, we have to scale back on that part a tiny bit. But we've got really big things in store for you guys over the coming month. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned and all that stuff, because there's some pretty big announcements coming. All right, on to board game news. Up first, Scott King, who is a photographer of board games. You've seen a ton of his stuff on Board Game Geek, I'm sure. He had a calendar, and I'm late to this because we haven't had news in December or January. But it's really cool. It's a board game themed calendar. I'm going to put you links down below so you can go find out where to buy this. I'd highly recommend it. I'd highly recommend it. It is pretty geeky and fantastic. All right, on to other things. There's a brand new publishing company called Stunt Kite Publishing, and they have announced that their first game is going to be Patchistory, which is a Korean strategy board game for 2 to 4 players. It has cards that symbolize historical heroes and wonders. It's an auction bidding and worker placement game with a modular board. It looks pretty cool, so we'll keep you posted on news with that. Up next, Formula D is getting its 5th track expansion. If you can't tell from my very well-worn Formula D box, we play that game a lot. And this track is going to be New Jersey on one side and Sochi on the other. It's actually pretty cool. The Sochi track is going to be the Olympic Village, so you're going to be able to kind of race around the Olympic Village that's going on about right now. So that's actually a pretty cool idea, and I like that a lot. Z-Man Games has announced that they're going to be printing a new edition of the popular game Vikings. As you would expect, Vikings is a economic game with no pillaging or exploration, which is pretty weird, and almost no player interaction. But, you know, when I think of Vikings, I think of their economic management. But it's a very popular game, so that should be a pretty big release coming, I think, second quarter this year. Now, on to Kickstarter. A friend of the show, Michael Coe, has a new game called Tiny Epic Kingdoms. It's published by Gamelin Games, and it's a 4X micro game, and it only costs $16. It is probably the tiniest 4X game you could imagine. Most of it's about the size of a playing card for your little territories and all that kind of stuff. But it's really cool. We've gotten to play it. We like it a lot. And it is blown up on Kickstarter now, so you should hop on that bus. All right, that's it for news this week. We're going to make sure to submit questions, because I'll be back to answering those next week. And we actually have another use for questions that might be happening in the near future. So submit your questions in the comments below. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and tweet at us and all that good stuff. And we will be back with a bit tomorrow that's pretty exciting, and then I'll be back with the news on Wednesday.